So if a person comes, they tour the facility, they see everything. What's the reason they should be coming back?
I think for one reason, we're always adding things here, whether it's a new plaque that talks about a different regiment or a ship or vessel that was involved in the day, a new statuary piece. We're constantly adding to the memorial. It's a national monument. It has great significance. And we encourage people to come up during our commemoration events. We've got Memorial Day, for example, and Veterans Day. And those are dates that we always ask people to take time out.
Kind of special that day.
Exactly, to come up. We always do special events on those dates, and particularly on D-Day. On June the 6th every year, we commemorate that day as well. I just think it's so key that we as Americans remember the freedoms that we have and why we have them, and I think this site does that.
I think that's well stated.
And we do see veterans from all over, not just World War II veterans, but we see a lot of Korean War veterans and Vietnam veterans, and veterans who are serving today come here. This has special significance to them as well.
Could imagine. Is there any little known fact here, or a little tidbit you could give us? Maybe the person wouldn't know?
Well, let's see, when we first started, I can tell you that Charles Schulz, the famous Peanuts cartoonist, was one of our key fundraisers for the memorial.
Oh, wow.
This was a project that meant a great deal to him, and unfortunately he passed away before he was able to see it completed. But that's something that we always, and whenever I see Snoopy, I think of Charles Schulz and just the commitment that he had to this memorial. D-Day was something of great significance to him. So we've had some well-known people involved in this project. Steven Spielberg actually donated money to this project early on. And so we continue to forge ahead and, again, add new things and plan for the future.
That's terrific. April, really appreciate this. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just that if you've never been here, you should come and see it. It's a site that it certainly rivals memorials that you see anywhere else in this country. It is in a tiny community, but I think that's what makes it so special. So I encourage people to come out, and even if you have been here and you haven't been in a while, we've added a great deal. So and it's a beautiful time of year to come and see it. The gardens are in bloom.
That's awesome.
So just come visit us. We've got a lot of programs, kids programs, and check out our website for all of our events, because we do have some wonderful things coming up this summer.
Excellent. Short ride from Blacksburg. You should definitely come and see this moving monument.
The importance is for all Americans to realize what happened on that day. How many of our fellows, young men, everybody who died there, trying to give us the freedom we have. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where we would be right now. I love my freedom, and I'm happy. I hate to see all these people who have died for it, but they died, I hope, for a good cause. I know they did, and that was to make us free and live the way we do here in the United States.
It's very impressive. As a matter of fact, I think the D-Day Memorial is more impressive than some of the other memorials that get more playtime and more people visit.
I think it was also well done, and I think my dad would be proud to see, you know, what has happened there. Actually, I saw the plaza was what I remember the most, I think, because I tried to put myself in the position of the men who were going in the water and onto the shore. He was in the Signal Corps, and they were the first people to get off of the landing transport, they call them. And he was very lucky. He didn't get wounded, but a lot of his company did. And he was very lucky not to have had any injuries. And he was always proud that when he was in charge, his company always was having communications, because that was the Signal Corps' job.
I love the D-Day Memorial. I was just tremendously impressed with it. I've lived in Northern Virginia for 30-some years and have seen all of the memorials, and I ranked D-Day Memorial right up there with it. I thought it was very touching, the soldiers making their way across the water, just the symbolism of every part of it. I really was impressed.
We hope you enjoyed the first part of our road trip. The D-Day Memorial is a fascinating place. Please give them a call or look them up on the web. It's just a wonderful place to visit. We're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna get back on the bus and we're gonna head to the Peaks of Otter Winery. Hi, and welcome back. We're gonna shift pace here in the second part of our show. I want you to sit back, I want you to relax and grab a glass because we're gonna go tour Peaks of Otter Winery.
As we approached, it brought me back home because I'm a farm boy, grew up on an orchard, lived there all my life, and I saw things that brought back good memories. The orchards, we did not have vineyards where I grew up, but we did have all the fruits, all the comprehensive orchard, and it really brought back memories just to walk in them again, walk along the fruit trees and things and see them growing.
The two men that were there were charming and funny and informative, and they had beautiful bottles.
This is a different section of Peaks of Otter. We usually go to the Peaks of Otter restaurant over there, but this time I've been this part of the country. I enjoyed a different winery. I'm not going to tell you the different. I enjoy going to the winery because I'm always going to wineries wherever the wine is from grapes. This one was not. It was from all the fruit, and the person who was telling us all about it was very knowledgeable. I think he said he was third or fourth generation running it, and it was interesting. I think most of my friends enjoyed listening to him, telling us all about the different kinds of wines they make there. And the trip itself was just a wonderful trip. It was a gorgeous day, so we can't complain.
This is Johnson's Orchards, and we do a little bit of everything. We have a vacation rental house that we rent out to groups and families. We have an apple, peach orchard, berries that we sell as pick your own, and we have school field trips. We do school field trips, and we have a farm winery called Peaks of Otter Winery.
Got a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Now, how long has your family been involved in this and you yourself?
Well, here we started in 1918. We originally came from up at the top of the peaks.
Wow.
In around 1750. And my great-great-grandfather made whiskey up there. So alcohol has been in our veins for a while. The creek that fills up the lake up there is called Stillhouse Creek, and that's because he had his still on it. So in 1918, when the parkway was going through, Dad and Granddad bought this farm and started planting apple trees.
Okay.
And we got up to about 350 acres in apples. It was one of the largest commercial orchards in this area. We grew, packed, and shipped apples all over the world. And we did this for a number of years, and then a hailstorm kind of caught us back in the 80s, and
does a lot of damage, doesn't it?
that does a lot of damage. So we ended up with trying to find about 50 to 75,000 buyers that wanted to buy a bushel of apples instead of one buyer. And so we sold our dimpled darlings, is what we call those hail-pecked apples. And people still come back looking for those dimpled darlings.
That's good, that's good.